I'm probably going to regret taking on this particular cast, but we're going to do it anyway, because, you know, whatever, like I care, no regrets, raise 10 cigarettes. We're going to watch another Protoss versus Zerg. This is from round 2, so it is going to be a best of 3. So, you know, keep that in mind while we go along. Thank you, Eros. Thank you. So brave. And, you know, at some point, I'm definitely gonna regret this, but we'll see how many times I screw it up. But let's go into the game. At the top left-hand side, our previous winner from the game against Dominator. He is an orange Zerg yet again. It is Fenneth. And down at the bottom right-hand side, our green Protoss player down here on Ohana is Fenneth. So you can now see, while I'm probably, you know, going to regret this. This is like a time when I remember in Pro League, like long ago, there was a game between Bisu and Perfect Man. It was a PvP, and while that sounds fine when you sort of say it by their normal IDs, of course, back in you know, the Brood War days in Korea, the commentators, and I think they still do it now, they use like the players' real names. So for both of these players, I'm just trying to remember exactly what Perfect Man's was. Pretty sure it was. Hang on. Sorry. Now that I've started this story, I have to get it right. Okay, so yeah. So for Perfect Man, his actual, you know, his slave name is Kim Tae-gyu, whereas for Bisu, it's Kim Taek-young. So it's almost the same thing. It's a pretty crazy game. But anyway, so we got the same sort of thing going on. Very interesting to see from Fenneth. He's going gateway first. Looks like we are going to have that sort of Naniwa style expand off the gate. Do it with a very quick, obviously with the core coming pretty quickly after that very quick gate. Fenneth, meanwhile, has just gone for a spawning pool first, and he's obviously going to make sure that he is all kinds of safe, along with his hatchery, probably going to come up in just a minute as well. Almost up at that 300 minerals. He's almost timed that perfectly. Look at that, arrives just on time. That guy is someone worth hiring. So Fenneth, of course, there it is. He is going to put down the cybernetic skull. Keep in mind, he hasn't actually blocked off the ramp in any way, shape, or form. Sometimes, when players will do this particular type of build, where you don't just straight off the bat, you know, fast expand, or do a wall at the front, sometimes what you can do is actually put down your pylon here, and then put your cyber here, and then if need be, if you see that your opponent's going very cheesy, you can put another pylon here, and it's all, you know, it's that standard sort of wall. So that's what we can see here from Fenneth. Meanwhile, Fenneth, he's arrived and he said, what is going on? My opponent has not taken his natural, he's not got a forge anywhere, and there isn't even a wall at the front door, which is a very interesting part. So a couple of things are going to roam across the map and see what's going on. Meanwhile, the scouting probe for Fenneth did not even actually scout at all. So if Fenneth was doing something a little bit different here, Fenneth would actually have no idea. So he is going ahead with that quick expand here. Now going to just jump down to the natural, going to plonk that nexus down and get started with that expansion. He's now also going to head across to the side. As we can see, the warp gate tech is already a third of the way done, so that is quite quick. Of course, most Zerg players are used to a normal sort of timing where it comes out quite a lot later than this, but Fenneth, he is going to have to read this properly and, of course, be ready for the fact that there is a possibility of some very early 3 or 4 gate pressure right at the start here from Fenneth. So we'll keep an eye on if that is going to happen. But Fenneth now back in the gas. He actually took the drones out of the gas for the moment there and is going to get it all back up and running again. And it looks like with the Queen out, lots of drones on the way, 3 gates also being built here. So it is going to be just some 4-gate pressure right off the start here from Fenneth. He's also going to be able to put some pressure on this natural, but wisely, Fenneth has not taken a 3rd base. Well, okay, he's not so wise anymore. because yeah, I don't want to say it's a bad idea, but obviously it can be a little bit difficult to hold off this kind of pressure that's going to come along. He's going to have to be right on the ball. Keep in mind that Fenneth has not started his length speed. In fact, that's just started up now. So there are going to be a couple of attack paths, of course. Fenneth can attack just straight up the ramp to the nat. He can also just head across to the third. The third is going to be something that may be a little bit sort of in jeopardy once this attack goes ahead. And Fenneth switching in the gateways. They've now powered up into their warp gate form. A couple of zealots are warping in. He's going to do some basic just zealot pressure for the moment. And as we can see, we'll have to see if Fenneth... What does Fenneth have? He's got one ling. One ling and 3 queens. I think Fenneth has gravely misread this situation, and the 4-gate is being executed. Here we go. Queen 1 goes down. Keep in mind, that is the only one of the only 3 defensive units that Fenneth has, and he's scrambling to get some defense down. Got a couple of spine crawlers up at the back of the natural, but these are not going to last too long. Sentries now coming in, and a GG, well played. In game number 1, wow, Fenneth. I think Fenneth just completely misread that situation. Of course, he didn't actually see the gates that were built at the front of the natural. Yeah, that was a really interesting game. It's been quite a while since I've seen a player do that particular build. I think people have been calling it the Expandiwa, just because Naniwa was doing it and Sasi were doing it, whatever. But yeah, of course, with the third going up, that's a lot of minerals invested in Fenneth's third base, meaning that his lings are delayed. There were no roaches, of course, because, as I said, you're not really expecting a 4-gate to come at that sort of timing. In fact, no one expects a 4-gate at all. So that was really nicely played. I did like it's a risky. Like, it's of course, with any sort of strategy, risk reward, it's a little bit higher on the risky side, but still really nicely done by